Hi, I am Mr. Crocker, and today we're going to talk about a couple more things that have to do with the economy. We're going to talk about entrepreneurs and supply and demand. Okay, so an entrepreneur is something that it's a person, it's kind of like a career that people can choose. And the people who choose this career, what they do is they take risks, really. They take a lot of risks because they want to create something new. And so that something that they're creating, it can be a product, like the woman in our textbook. She decided to create dolls with natural hair. Okay, so she does this. She doesn't know if anybody really is going to buy them. I mean, she might feel like it's a good idea. She might hope that people buy them, but she doesn't know. And so she has to get money to start making this product. And the way that entrepreneurs often finance their ideas is through borrowing something. So that you can borrow money from a bank, or they might borrow money from investors. If you can find people who believe that your idea is a good idea, they might be willing to loan you some money so that you can try your idea out. Okay, so like this woman in our textbook, she wanted to create something new. She's an entrepreneur. She has this idea. She borrows some money or gets an investor, creates this product, these dolls, and then she takes them to market and sees how it goes. Okay. And I think that she was successful. Her idea sold, it worked out, but sometimes they don't. And if you are, a lifelong entrepreneur, one of these people who creates a lot of new things, you're going to have some ideas that go well, probably. You're also going to have some flops that just don't work. And it's a risk because they borrow that money to start with. And then if you go to market and nobody wants to buy your idea or nobody likes your product, then you still have to pay that money back. Okay. Or be bankrupt. So entrepreneurs are a really great thing for our economy because they bring new ideas and innovation, and they also take a lot of risks. Okay, so like for example, Jeff Bezos is the owner of the company. He's probably not called the owner; he's probably like CEO. But he started the company Amazon, which is huge, right? He was an entrepreneur. And now, because that idea went so well, he is enormously wealthy, right? That idea went very, very well. But a lot of other people, like especially you think of restaurants, right? You see restaurants all the time will open and close, especially nowadays with COVID. So those people are also being entrepreneurial. They are trying to create something new. They had to go buy that building or rent it, and probably have a lot of other expenses to start a restaurant. Maybe nobody wants to eat at your restaurant. So it's a risky thing that you do, but it can be very successful. And it's something that a free market economy allows people the freedom to do. Okay. So now on to supply and demand. So supply is how much of a product is available in the market. Okay, if something is very, very easy to get, like let's just say soda, right? Like I like Diet Dr. Pepper. There's a ton of Diet Dr. Pepper out there. It is not hard to find. Okay, there are also a lot of people who like soda. So we have high supply and high demand. And the price of soda is not crazy, right? You go to 7-Eleven, you get a big gulp for $1. It's a normal price. It's high supply. There's a lot of it out there. It's also high demand. So there's enough. Okay, now if the supply stays high, and let's just say that a news story breaks and we find out that soda is the worst thing ever for you. It's so unhealthy. We kind of already know that it's unhealthy. But let's just say we find out that it's even more unhealthy. I still drink it. the demand might go down, right? If a lot of people say, I am not going to drink soda anymore, then the companies that sell it would have to probably drop their price to get people to buy the supply that they have. Okay. The fewer people want it. If the supply is higher than the demand, the price is probably coming down. Okay. So that's what happens when you have high supply and low demand. Now let's look at the other way. Okay. Low supply, low demand. So with this, I think of generators. Okay, if you're not sure what a generator is, a lot of you do know what generators are. We talked about it in morning meeting. You guys have them hooked up to your houses, but just on a normal non-power outage situation, like there's not a lot of generators out there. You kind of have to go to a Lowe's and they're going to have two or three, or a Home Depot, but they're not everywhere, right? They're not super easy to get. So it's kind of like low supply and low demand. Like not very many people wake up in the morning and think, I really want a generator today. So the price of generators is it's normal. Okay. Low supply, but also not a lot of people buying them. Well, if the supply stays here, but everyone in Oklahoma City loses their power and they go, oh, you know what? If I had a generator, I could have power back. All of a sudden the demand is here. And so what happens? The price could go up, right? If I have 3 generators and 3 people want to buy generators, I'm going to just sell them at a normal price, right? This is my price. You want to buy my generator? Fantastic. I'll sell you my generator for a normal fair price. If I have 3 generators and 400 people want to buy my generators, I might find out who wants it the most by raising the price, right? And that's how supply and demand works in a free market. Now, our government also, we talked about how the government kind of facilitates and creates this safe space for the economy. The government also has laws about what we call price gouging, which is when a needed item, like could be a generator, but it could also just be something like gasoline or just kind of an essential product becomes in very high demand. There are laws against raising your price up. We call that gouging. But that's how supply and demand works. Okay. High supply, high demand, normal price. If the demand drops way down, the price is going to need to come down too so that people will buy it. Okay. If you have low supply and low demand, normal price, right? The demand goes way up, the price is going to have to go way up because people are competing to get this thing that everybody wants. So the idea is that the prices, we talked about inflation, but prices will change so that supply and demand kind of meet. Okay, we're going to put the price at this place where the supply and how many people want it balance out. And it's just another part of a free market economy. And then, you also have businesses that compete to help with that. So let's say that every single person in Oklahoma City wants a generator. Okay. Everybody wants a generator. Lowe's is the only people that have generators. So we have a low supply and a very high demand. Well, it's not going to take very long for Tractor Supply and Home Depot to say, Lowe's is making a lot of money selling generators. Let's sell generators. And let's sell them for a little bit less than Lowe's so that everybody will buy ours. And so the price goes down just a little bit, right? People start buying these other generators, and then Lowe's goes, hey, we can sell ours for a little bit less so that people will buy ours. And so businesses competing, for one thing, when they bring those extra products to market, the supply goes up, but then they want to compete to have the best price, and it kind of helps check supply and demand also. Okay, so it's just supply and demand in a free market. That's how it works. I can't push the button. I've tried 3 times.